Lori, I have to check back in and see, how did pickleball go?
Pickleball went great. So I had one lesson,
Uh-huh.
one and done. No, no, I will do more. I liked it. We spent a lot of time learning. I don't even know the exact rules. There's a lot of rules.
Are they
Um,
very different than tennis?
yes. As
Okay.
a matter of fact, he said, so I took a group lesson. And the good thing is there was only four of us in the group. It was a very small group. So we got a lot of one-on-one attention because he said typically there's 8 people in the group, but it was just happened to be a smaller one. And 2 of the 4 of us were previous tennis players. I am not a tennis player, so I
Okay.
was lucky. And the 2 that were tennis players struggled because it's very different. And Ellie has mentioned that. She said the first time she played, she was frustrated because it's not tennis.
Okay.
It's different. So, anyway, like I said, the rules are different, but our instructor, he was this adorable young little boy. He
Yeah.
probably is, I don't know, maybe 20, 21. He was such a good teacher and patient with us. We were all about the same age, which was
Oh,
nice
yeah.
too. So I liked it. I will definitely do it again. It was all indoors, which was very helpful. It's a big indoor pickleball thing, and they have it broken out into beginner, intermediate, advanced. And so it was fun too. I sat there for a while when it was over and watched because I think you can learn a lot by just observing,
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
watching how that it actually plays. So anyway, it was good.
So it's
I'll
every Friday?
Here's my biggest problem is signing up for a package of 5 lessons, and then you can't just do I'm like, I'm out of town there, and, "Oh, I'm out of town there." You have to so I gotta get all of that figured out.
And you can't just do them by ones. You could do a one, but you'd rather buy a package of 5.
Yeah, that was like an intro class, and
Gotcha.
then you buy a package of 5, which I want lessons. I am not that type of person. Like Mark is my husband is like, "Let's just get out there and figure it out." I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
I gotta because if I do that, then I won't know how to play it correctly."
Yeah.
Like
You wanna set yourself up for success.
I
Let me
wanna
the
know
rules.
how to do it right.
Yeah. Give me the foundation.
Give me the foundations,
Yeah.
and then I will learn because I don't wanna start bad habits. I already have enough bad habits, Vonda. I
Oh,
don't
yes. You have so many bad
I
habits, Lori.
don't need more bad
Right.
habits in my life. So,
Uh,
how was your weekend?
it was good. I worked in the yard all weekend. It was just nice to be back out in the yard and trimmed our palm tree and trimmed the bushes and did the weeding, all that.
Okay. Are you ready for empathy part 2?
I am, because this is where you're saying that part of it is where you're going to relate it to me. So,
Yes. This part's going to be all about you, the first part. Some of it will. I am a firm believer that all of us, somewhere deep down inside, have all 3 of these types of empathy.
mm,
We just have to dig sometimes for
yeah.
them.
I liked the one you referred to last week as the professional empathy. So I'm going to really be thinking about that while you tell me about the next type of empathy we're going to talk about today.
Okay. We're going to do, and I probably talked about cognitive empathy, but we're going to start with that one. So, the 3 types of empathy that I talked about at Symposium were cognitive,
Mm.
somatic, and compassionate.
Okay.
As I think I said, I showed movie clips of each 3 to kind of show you all 3 in action, but can't show movie clips on a podcast. That would be really cool. But cognitive empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand their perspective, even if you don't feel their emotions.
Okay.
Okay, so that part's key for cognitive. You don't necessarily feel what they're feeling, but you understand why they're feeling that way. I get it. I get why you're upset. I totally get that. So this is you're exercising a mental understanding of that person's experience. So it's based on intellect, perspective taking. Perspective is a big word throughout all of empathy. Curiosity, and here's another one, active listening. So, what this might sound like is I can see you're really frustrated. So, I remember when I was doing my student teaching, my first time I did student teaching is fourth grade. And there was a boy in that class got frustrated really easily. He had some learning disabilities. And so instead of saying, "Hey, Jake, calm the hell down. I need you to calm down. I need you to stop talking." That's not going to work. It's not going to work. But if you go over and you go, "Hey, I can see why you're frustrated. There's a lot of words up there. God, it's hard." Right? I don't feel what he's feeling, but I can see why.
Mhm.
Because he's struggling.
You can see it, and you can see why
See,
he's
right.
doing.
It makes sense from your point of view, not feeling it. So, how does this benefit your team in a flower shop, right? These people are pretty good at communication,
Most of the time. Mhm.
conflict resolution. So, if you have two employees that are maybe high escalation at each other, toxic or something going on, you're using intellect and you go to your corner, you go to your corner, you can go talk to each other, right? So understanding someone's point of view without feeling it. I wrote down a couple of examples. An angry delivery complaint. Here's a situation. Someone calls because the flowers haven't arrived yet. A normal first thought might be, "My gosh, the driver is 10 minutes behind. Chill out." But cognitive empathy would ask, "Okay, why are they freaking out? Why is 10 minutes? Maybe the flowers are for a funeral and this person is already high grieving and high anxiety, or maybe it is for a surprise and the person's getting ready to leave town and they're panicked because they're afraid they're going to leave." There's a situation. So your response would change instead of, "Hey, they're only running 10 minutes behind. It's okay. They'll get there when they get there." Instead of that, you would say, "I can hear how frustrating this is. Let me find out exactly where your order is. Hold on. I'm going to get right back to you. Matter of fact, I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to call from my other phone." You're going to calm them down, make sure they are important, and you are going to find the solution, right? You haven't admitted fault. You're just going to find the solution.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Another example that I think happens daily is a customer comes in. "I have no idea what I want. I got to order flowers." Without any kind of cognitive empathy, we tend to go, "How much you want to spend? What am I dealing with here?
Yeah.
$40, $45, $20? What is it?" With cognitive empathy, you recognize maybe they're overwhelmed. Maybe they just don't know. So maybe go, "Hey, no worries. It's what I'm here for. It's why I get paid the big bucks." Or to soften them, to ease them. "Tell me, who are you buying flowers for? What's the tea? What's the scoop?" Get them talking. You're reducing their anxiety.
Interesting, Lori. I would have never identified that as empathy.
That's empathy.
I would have never.
So I should affirm you. You use it. People use empathy every day.
Yeah. To me, I'm just like, that's sales training. That's people 101
That
kind of thing.
100%. And that's going back to the myth. We use empathy every day and we don't even realize it.
Yeah.
It just comes in different forms. It's because the word makes us think, you got to be soft and codependent and enable it. No, it's just using your brain.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly,
Yeah.
just never would have said
Yeah.
that is something. But you're right. We use that every single day. in the shops,
in sales training,
in our business,
dealing with customers every
dealing with
day. No
customers.
problem
Yeah.
getting their perspective because you don't know, are they really just, I have no idea what I want, or is something more going on?
Mhm.
So let's reduce the overwhelm
Mhm. Yeah.
and get them talking a little more so I can help them. What's the best way I can help them? So,
Yeah, I like that.
with every type of empathy, I have a watch out slide.
Ooh.
Like, look out for there's pitfalls type, if you will. So, cognitive empathy is sometimes called the head empathy, not the heart, which
Right.
isn't necessarily a bad thing. But because it is the head and not the heart, it can come across as you don't care about the person. And it can also come across as rather manipulative. So, in books that I've read and in lots and lots of articles that I have read about it, psychiatrists have said that narcissists have cognitive empathy.
Mm.
Like they know you well. They put themselves in your shoes and they know exactly how to manipulate you to get what they want. So
I would
even
agree with that.
bad, that's what I'm saying. Even bad people
Yeah.
have empathy, good and bad.
Interesting.
Yeah. A person can be highly skilled at reading emotions, motivations, and perspectives, but then they use that knowledge to persuade, manipulate, or simply just get what they want. It can be very scary. So, in leadership, us as business owners or managers, when we're leading employees, the employee might not feel heard, even though you accurately know what's going on. Let's say you know exactly why your employee's upset, and yet you just do nothing about it because you're like, I don't want to deal with that. That's the pitfall of
Yeah.
somebody because you're not really feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
You pick and choose when you want
You're
to.
listening, but maybe your
You're
response is
listening, you
giving.
understand,
Yeah.
but you're like, whatever. You're deciding if they should feel that way or if they should just get over it. Which, let's be honest, we've all done that.
Yeah.
We do. We're human and we do that. We put time limits on other people's grief, or I don't know, it's not always just grief, but their drama
Situations. Yeah, they're drama. I like
situations.
that. That's not drama sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. In customer service, the employee understands the situation of the grieving customer, but they never truly connect with them. This can be a really bad thing if you have an employee that's dealing with a grieving family, let's say about sympathy, and that employee just doesn't have the heart empathy to deal with that.
And a lot of times I think that happens if that employee has never lost someone, then they can't connect. That
They
connection
can't
cannot
connect,
be made.
right?
But then there's a one, and I'm sure there's a pitfall on that too, is when you're working with a grieving family and you start sharing all your
Oh,
experiences and all that. So
it's yeah,
that,
we're getting there.
yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, now you're speaking my language. That's my yeah. All
Yeah.
right. So
Okay. I
that's
got that.
cognitive.
Cognitive.
Cognitive's a great one. I think I talked about, I always think of the triage nurse at an emergency room.
Yeah. That makes
You
sense.
know, they're cognitive. They're going to have to get through, and their goal is to figure out how sick you are, right? And they use intellect and perspective. They try to put themselves, okay, so what do I need to do for this person? But not take on every heart attack that is sitting in front of them.
We
Or
couldn't,
they,
right? Whew.
okay. Somatic empathy is when you physically feel the other person's pain. So this is obviously me. Your body mirrors what the other person is doing. It's connected to feelings, physical sensations, mirror neurons. This is so much scientific research out there that talks about this. It's crazy. This is where Ellie and I have joked. She gets a headache. I immediately have a
Yep.
headache. Her ankle is hurting. I'm like, oh my gosh, mine does too. It's just so weird. She has a stomach ache within 5 minutes. If we're rooming together, oh my God, my stomach hurts too. It just happens. It just happens. I don't know. She cries, I'm gonna cry. And you and I will do that on Zoom calls. If one of us starts crying, the other person just starts crying.
Yeah, no, true.
We tend to do this. It happens more easily, of course, around people we love and we truly, but this is also, I cry every time I watch a video of a person in the military coming home and surprising their family.
Yeah. I cry at the airport when somebody's coming
Oh,
home. We
100%.
see
Like
them all the
that.
time here.
So
It's like,
that is, you're getting it. So what this sounds like is your stomach tightens when somebody else is telling you their bad news.
yeah.
You cry when somebody else cries. You feel anxious. This is what I use this example. Sorry, in my thing. So you feel anxious when you walk in a room of tension. And the example I used was our photo shoots.
Oh, that could be, Lori.
Right. And I was talking, and Ellie was laughing because I was like, Julie was in there too, and she was nodding. And I was like, sometimes we'll come in like a day late, right? Because
Mhm.
I don't do all of the prep stuff, or sometimes you guys go in early for family because we do them in Des Moines. Anyway, every once in a while when I walk in, I can immediately tell if you and Ellie are at odds of, and not about life, but about an arrangement, right?
Mhm.
It's always
Yep.
just about an arrangement. And I can feel it. I can literally feel it. I feel it in the room. I feel it on your faces because you guys are horrible at masking. And we're in a safe space, so
Yeah.
you don't have to.
Right.
You don't have to. That's why we have to have a pretty tight knit group there because we can't have outsiders. They think we're all crazy.
That's true.
But that's what this is. I walk in and I immediately know,
Mm.
who, okay, or I'll know, oh, we're doing great. I'll know where we are
Yep. You can tell the temperature in the
by
room.
the temperature in the room. And then my first person I go to is going to be Ellie because I'm gonna check in on the photographer first. Maybe play with her hair, do some things that I know can maybe help calm her and get the sense of what's going on with Vonda. Should I talk to
What
her?
did she do? What did she do?
Punch me in the face? What do I do? Yeah, anyway, and then I go over to you, and things tend to kind of calm down a
Mhm.
little bit, and then we do our thing. But that's somatic empathy.
Mhm.
That's just, and I will have that pit in my stomach going, oh no, how do I fix this? But I've gotten better through therapy because I'm like, it's not my job to fix it. I will do
Right.
it's okay. This is not me. This is not about me. This is about flowers. It's not even about them. This is just about flowers. This is about business. It's about flowers. This is okay. We're going to get through
We're
it.
gonna get through it. That's right.
Not a big deal because we've been here before and we come out on the other end and we're all going to dinner and it's going to be fine.
We just got to get through these
We just got
few
to get through
arrangements here and we'll be
right,
fine.
but that's okay. How does somatic empathy help your team? I just kind of gave an example of, I don't know if it helps our team, but it's what happens to our team. It promotes deeper connection between people.
Mhm.
Usually, whoever has the somatic empathy helps kind of bring people together. It might help you respond more appropriately. I know there are times on our team that you or even Ellie or even Cami will go, hey, can I send you this to look over first before, because I want those kind of like, yeah. Or let's just take a minute before we think about whether we're going to call that person back or not. Or even in certain webinars anyway, that type of thing. And again, they help you read the room.
Yeah.
Here's some examples of a day-to-day in a flower shop. So sometimes customers don't always tell you how they're feeling. A sympathy customer could come in and just say, I need something simple. But their voice might be trembling or might sound distant. And if you have somatic empathy, and it helps you sense anxiety, grief, it helps you sense what's going on. The other side of this is a customer comes in excited because he's proposing tomorrow, right?
Mhm.
He's smiling, he's practically bouncing up and down, but he's nervous. And without realizing it, you start smiling, you're bouncing up and down too. So,
Yep.
somatic empathy is not always heavy, it can be very happy. Like you're literally just reflecting.
I love that. Yep.
Them.
And we
And
do
so
that in the flower shop every day. You're right.
you do it in right,
Every day.
exact pitfalls, downside. It's exhausting, overwhelming. People with somatic empathy, if you don't have healthy boundaries, you tend to carry all of that back home with you.
Mm.
I think of Symposium, the guy that had the big backpack,
Yeah.
Sam, like that backpack is full of different things for different people. And a lot of people with somatic empathy pack it full of everybody else's stuff.
Yeah.
And then you carry it around because you're like, oh, I got to take all that home from you because you feel guilty. If you're like, that wasn't my problem, I helped him here, but so I need to leave it.
Right.
And we don't. It's
And
exhausting.
that's like you, let's just talk Lori, because
Yeah.
you do that. You take
Yes.
on I want to say the weight of the world
Right.
a lot of times because
Right.
you're taking all that and you've learned you do
I've learned, right.
so much better to just leave it.
So much,
Yeah.
so much better that I cannot do that because it doesn't benefit the person either, and it certainly doesn't benefit me. In leadership, learning to understand your employees' feelings but not carry their feelings.
Right.
I think that's a really hard thing. And in customer service, absorbing your customers' anger, if you had a disgruntled employee, or their grief, or all of those things, and then leaving it. In our sales prep school, we talk about that and how give yourself a minute,
Yep.
especially if you're somatic empathy, like you got to take a walk around the block or go take a breather or go drink a Diet Coke, go do something to remove it and remind yourself, this is not about me.
I love that when you do that at sales prep school because it is so true because you want to hold on to that, especially if somebody was complaining about you or your employees and you're angry and upset and you have to let it go.
You can't take it personal. You got to let it go. The gift of somatic empathy is connection.
Yeah.
That's the gift. It's just wonderful. You want to connect with everybody and you are a connector.
Yes, you are.
The risk is absorption.
Yeah.
And we did a podcast about observing and absorbing. Mm-hmm. And I think about that all the time. Mm-hmm. And it helped me. I don't know if anyone else ever listened to it, but it really helped me. I do kind of go through my life. And when things come my way, I think of, is this something I need to absorb? Or can I just observe this from afar? Mm. And by observing it, I can pray about it and then let it go by. This is God's. Let's let it go.
Let it go.
And that's how I've had to handle those things. All right. Compassionate empathy. This is the all-encompassing kind. This is the kind that causes us to want to not only understand, which is cognitive, not only feel, which is somatic, but actually act and do something about it, which is like you see people in the world spreading kindness everywhere or helping others, Habitat for Humanity, Mother Teresa, all of those things. You're like, that is that compassionate. Yeah. Not only understand their circumstance, but it drives us to want to help and do something.
Okay.
I can't just sit here and cry for you. I have to get out and I have to help you.
It sparks an action.
It sparks an action. I understand. I care. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to help you. Let's do it. So what it sounds like in a flower shop is, I can see you're overwhelmed. What can I take off your plate? I'm going to take something. I'm going to do this or this. It's not, do you need help? Or do you need to stay late tonight? Because I see you're not getting stuff done. That would.
No, that's a real good one. Woo.
How does this benefit your team? You think of the whole customer or the whole person, right? You're thinking everything, all three things. It inspires action and it extends compassion to world events. You'll see a lot of flower shops who they even say, hey, this weekend, 20% of our proceeds are going to this nonprofit because we're so passionate about it or whatever. That's something drove them to do that. It sparked their compassion. I'm not saying everybody has to do that, but I'm just using
Yeah.
that as an example. I believe compassionate empathy in the moments that it comes out in us, this is the best version of ourselves.
Yeah.
We're,
Because it's authentic.
it's authentic and it's what we're called to do.
Yeah.
I do believe it is a calling, and every one of us have it in us. It just sits dormant sometimes when we're not listening for it. Examples of this in a flower shop would be like the grieving husband. A man comes in after losing his wife. He can't decide what she would have liked. He's very emotional. Instead of saying, she probably liked pink, so let's do this. Maybe just sitting with her and going, you know what? Tell me about her. What was she like? And just letting him talk. Now, I know I get so much pushback from people talking to me about time. But in those kind of moments,
100%. Lori, I would be surprised if there's someone in a flower shop, the owner usually, who
right,
takes those moments with the family.
right.
I don't think you're going to get pushback on that
Yeah,
because that is
I
such
would
an
hope not.
important connection
Right.
time
Yeah,
because there are so many customers that you have done that last amazing thing for their loved one. They come
mhm.
back and they're your customers for life. And so are their kids, your family, because you have spent that time.
Right.
Gosh, it makes me emotional because
It
that
makes
is
me
truly,
emotional too.
that is the best gift you can give anyone is
Yeah,
that time that you're spending while they're
right.
grieving. Sometimes they're not, but like you're saying, a
Yeah,
man who can't figure it out.
yeah,
Sit with
yeah.
them, tell
Or
me.
a whole family, just one man. It doesn't even matter. But I do believe that is one of the most important jobs of the florist. And I don't think there are many flower shop owners who would allow just any employee to sit with a grieving family. I can't imagine
Mhm.
that happening. But I will say this, I think we do a beautiful job of showing sympathy, how to do design, but I don't think we do a great job about how to talk about it. So that's what I'm going to
You mean talk about empathy or talk about sympathy? Which
talk about, dealing with talking to grieving families,
got it. Yeah.
how to do it. Because if you remember when you and Tim did that great session at SAF,
Mhm.
we had a couple of people ask the questions like, I am uncomfortable talking to these families, and they were actual business owners.
And they'd been in business for 10, 12
Yes.
years or
Yeah.
something because
Yes.
you and I were shocked on
We
that
were
one.
shocked. Yes.
Yeah.
And it was no diss to them. It was,
No.
but it reminded us, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
people don't know. And it might go back to maybe they've never been through death.
That
Or
changes you, and it changes the way you.
it changes how you deal with people.
Mhm.
And so, anyway, that's what I think there needs to be more conversation on that.
Mhm.
It needs to be alongside of the beautiful design, the flowers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyway, another example, one of your designers is falling behind, and she doesn't normally do that. Again, this is something out of character. This isn't like chronically, that's a whole different type of
Whole different
employee.
thing. Yeah. This is
Yeah.
just somebody who normally
That's where
really.
cognitive empathy needs to kick in. You probably got to get rid of them. You're noticing that she's falling behind. Without waiting to be asked, you start processing the orders, helping, just cleaning her buckets, prepping her flowers. Compassionate empathy steps in and just says, I see you're struggling.
Mhm.
I'm going to help.
I'm gonna walk beside you on this journey.
Guide you. What do you need me to do? Helping you. You don't have the choice. You're
Yeah.
not alone. I'm helping.
Yeah. And we see that. We see that a lot, I think, in our
Oh,
industry. I saw that at AIFD Symposium in the back room,
oh,
and
I saw it everywhere
individuals
there.
and
I saw
people
it everywhere. People
cleaning
helping.
buckets, processing flowers, help. Yeah, you saw that. They didn't ask. They're just
Right.
like, "Hey." I can see. You're a little behind. Let me help.
Right. Yeah. The biggest downside to this is creating dependency instead of growth. Compassionate empathy people can, if you're not careful, start almost enabling that person if that person starts taking advantage. So let's say that designer is, oh, so if I act like this, she'll start
Mhm.
stepping in, or that whatever, and you keep doing it, then that becomes a problem.
So what do you have to do? Just watch the boundaries? Just
Yeah, yeah.
establish those
Empathy
boundaries.
without boundaries
Yeah.
leads to burnout,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I read a book a long time ago, Bob Goff. He's great. He's a Christian author, and he wrote Love Does. He wrote a bunch of other ones. Anyway, but he talks about boundaries, not barriers,
Yeah.
and the difference there. Barriers, a lot of people just put up a wall and go, don't come in my office, don't, you do your job, I do mine, blah, 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 but I expect productivity. That's not going to fly. Boundaries are, hey, you're having a bad day. I'm helping you. I'm right here.
Hmm.
Now, if we're on day 10 of a bad day in a row, we got a problem.
Yeah.
I'm not helping. Like,
Yeah.
we have some things resolved here.
So this is where you came up with heart or head?
Head,
Mhm.
cognitive,
Heart,
heart, somatic, hands, work,
compassion.
do
Work. Help
service,
them.
compassion. Yep. And that's how you remember them. A whole
That
bunch.
really covers it. I
Yeah,
love
that
that.
really does.
Yeah.
That's the gist of it all.
Yeah.
So I think all of us have all three,
Okay.
depending on the situation. I believe I tend, let's talk about tendencies,
Mhm.
right? My tendency is somatic because I was born
With
with
your
my
heart on your sleeve.
heart right. But I, through life, have trained that and honestly hardened myself
Yeah.
just because of life. So you have a tendency probably more for cognitive,
And
but
then compassionate.
I've seen you
There's your fault.
compassionate, I've seen you somatic
Yeah.
with me. So we have them. It's just when we allow them to arise.
Yeah. I think
And
the
so I
awareness,
challenge,
just knowing there's a name for it and the awareness of what's
right.
going on, I think that's just it's
Yeah.
fascinating, Lori. It's
Yeah.
really fascinating.
Yeah. And sometime we'll go through the acronym of how we train ourselves because you can to be more empathetic. And it does, it starts with awareness and finding our blind spots because we all have them. And so I talked through that whole thing. We don't have time for it today, but it's examining your blind spots. And we could do 30 minutes on that because
Okay.
that one's hard and it's humbling.
I think that's what we should do next, examining your blind spots.
Yeah. And we can share with each other. I'll tell you what I think mine are, and you can say what you think yours are.
Okay. To be continued.
Okay.